All right, we are cooking fried rice from the stockpile, so let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome back to Heartway Farms. I'm so glad you're here with me today. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're new here and you don't want to miss any of our videos. We have lots of good cooking from your stockpile videos coming up. You guys have asked for fried rice, which we're talking about today, and you've asked for our crepes with our peach sauce and also soda bread. We've got all sorts of things coming up, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss anything. But yes, today we are talking about cooking from your stockpile, our very favorite fried rice recipe. Now, everybody loves this in our house, and I want to share it with all of you. And remember, these are not fancy schmancy videos. These are simple, basic recipes that anybody can do with items that you have in your pantry, in your root cellar, in your fridge, in your freezer, and you can come up with a great meal for your family that everybody will enjoy. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to start with the star of the show, and that is rice, of course. So I love using Jasmine rice. Some of you, maybe you keep instant rice in your pantry. This is a super easy way to use that. But today I'm going to show you how I make Jasmine rice. Now, I make it on the stovetop. I've tried it in the Instapot and I just don't like how it turns out. It always burns to the side. So if you have a good recipe for the Instapot, please leave me the ratios below so that I can learn from you and figure out what you guys like. But I'm gonna make it on the stovetop here. And before we get started, I have to say, one of you beautiful people that are a part of the Heartway Farms family sent me this gorgeous Lodge Dutch oven, and it is beautiful and clean and brand new, and I just am so thankful. So whoever sent it did not attach a name or anything. I just want to say thank you. I don't know who you are, but we have already been putting it to use almost on a daily basis. So thank you so much. We have the best family. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. So I'm gonna start. We have 8 people in our family. You guys know this, so I make large batches of stuff. So when I am doing my rice, I'm actually gonna turn my stove on here. And I'm gonna make a large batch of rice because I will use it for this meal and for another meal coming up. So I only like to make it once in a while. And actually this recipe is really great if you made rice like a couple days ago and that rice has had time to dry out. That is when you want to use the rice for this recipe, because when it's really brand new, so I'm doing this early in the day and I'm gonna let it sit, and then at dinner time I'm gonna use it. Okay, so I have 4.5 cups of water because I'm making a large batch. Okay, and then I'm gonna let that come to a boil, and then I'll check back in with you. Okay, we have a boil going. So like I said, 4.5 cups of water in there. I'm making, like I said, a large batch. So I've got 3 full cups of our Jasmine rice here, which I'm gonna put into the boiling water. And then I also like to add a few teaspoons of avocado oil. This helps just give some flavor to the rice, and it also helps it not to stick. All right, I'm gonna stir this in. I am also gonna add some salt, so that's up to you guys. We do a little bit to taste here. Probably about 2 teaspoons. I'm pretty sure this yields like about 9 cups of cooked rice, so it's quite a bit. So we'll get this mixed in. All right, I'm gonna bring it back up to a simmer. Then it's super easy. Once it comes up to a low simmer, I'm gonna keep it on low, cover it, and cook it for about 15 to 20 minutes, but I stir it about every 5 minutes because I don't want it to stick. And then, then we'll talk about the rest after that's done. Okay, the rice looks great. I'm gonna keep the lid on there and I'm just gonna let it continue to steam until I'm ready to use it, because I like it to come down in temperature just a little bit and not be so sticky to be able to turn into the fried rice. So like I said, the best case scenario is when I have rice from the day before, which I actually have. I just wanted to show you how to make the rice. We made this yesterday, so this is ready to go for our recipe. So let's get started. First, I need to go down to the root cellar, so let's head down there. Okay, so we're down in the root cellar, and for this recipe, of course, if you have fresh items, then use those. But I'm showing you how to use stuff that is shelf steady, freezer foods, or canned items, those kinds of things, to be able to throw together these meals. So rice is obviously easy to store. When we buy large bulk bags of rice, we put them in a garbage bag. We keep them in their original packages, and then we put them in a garbage bag and put it in the freezer for like a week. You're supposed to do like 3 days, but 3 days to a week, and to make sure we kill off anything in there that would grow into bugs. So we freeze it for several days, and then we bring it out to take off the garbage bag, bring it back to room temperature, and then put it into 5-gallon buckets, food grade, for storing it long term. And then Julianne likes to also put like bay leaves and stuff around it to try to keep pests and stuff away. But anyway, so we're down here, and for this recipe we need a couple things. I need 1 can of pineapple chunks in 100% juice. I need an onion. I have frozen peas and carrots, which I'm gonna use instead of canned. So I'm gonna use that upstairs. We have eggs upstairs. I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anything. My sauces are upstairs. So I think we're good. I think everything else is upstairs. Okay, let's go. Okay, so we're gonna do some food prep here real quick before we move over to the stove top. Okay, so in our fried rice, we like obviously rice, we like peas, we like carrots, caramelized pineapple, caramelized onion, and yeah, so that's where we're gonna prep some of these items. So I have a can of chunk pineapple, and I'm gonna open that up, but I'm going to save the juice, okay? We're gonna use that for the recipe later for like deglazing the pan. So I'm gonna save all of this juice. It adds really nice flavor to the recipe. All right, so we have our juice, we have our chunks of pineapple, and these are nice small little chunks, which is perfect. I don't even have to cut them up. If they were large pineapple, I would chop it up a little bit. I'm gonna grab a knife. We're gonna chop up this yellow onion. All right, now we are gonna head over to the stove top. And I've got my nice big cast iron that I'm gonna turn onto high because we're caramelizing things. So we want high heat. I'm gonna put some avocado oil in here for sauteing all these things up. And I highly recommend, with the fried rice, being very generous with your oil. This is maybe not a good recipe if you're watching your oil intake, okay? So, all right, we're gonna let this warm up. Now we're gonna add our veggies in. Our oil is nice and warm in here. There we go, we like that sizzling. So we're gonna caramelize our onions first. Get them nice and golden, which will take a few minutes on high. And they smell so good. Okay, while our onions are going here, we're gonna multitask. I know you guys are able, we're gonna do it. In this pan over here, this is my smaller cast iron. We are going to cook up some scrambled eggs. I forgot to mention that. That's like another star of the show, or scrambled eggs. And it's springtime, so there's tons of eggs on the farm. And I like to do my scrambled eggs in a different pan at first because they like to stick to the bottom with all these other things in here. So I like to do them separate and add them very last so they don't get too soggy or too overcooked when it goes through this whole process. So we're gonna do some scrambled eggs over here for my family for this recipe. So this is 1 onion. I'm gonna do about 6 scrambled eggs because we're huge fans. So we've got our beautiful farm fresh eggs that we're gonna throw in here. I am not gonna salt these or pepper them or anything because we are gonna add seasoning and sauce in here, so. All right, 6, beautiful. All right, our onions are looking beautiful. So right now I'm gonna add the other veggies so they can all caramelize together. We like to caramelize our pineapple, and we like a lot of pineapple in our recipe. So I'm probably gonna use this whole can. This is a 20-ounce can of pineapple. If you have fresh, awesome, use your fresh pineapple. Like I said, this recipe can be made with either fresh ingredients, if you have fresh carrots right out of your garden, or fresh peas, or if you like green beans, whatever you want, you can put in this. So I'm gonna add this can of pineapple. In my freezer, I stock up on the peas and carrots combination. We also can these, and we also use fresh if it comes out of our garden. But right now, I don't have any fresh veggies from my garden. Julianne's greens are just coming up, so yeah, we're gonna use frozen today for this recipe. And that's one bag, okay, one 12-ounce bag. All right, there is a lot of liquid in this pan right now, so I'm gonna keep it on high heat to help get some of that liquid out and to create that caramelization of the pineapple and the veggies. But we like a lot of the fixins to be in there with the rice, so that's why we have quite a bit, and that liquid needs to cook out. So I'm gonna keep it high for several minutes here. Okay, so our scrambled eggs are done. I'm just gonna set those aside until the very end. The veggies and pineapple are cooking beautifully. And right now, I'm gonna add a little bit of flavor. Okay, two things that we like to put into our fried rice are liquid aminos. I don't think I've talked about liquid aminos before, but this is something that we keep in the stockpile, and I buy it in like gallon jugs. We really like the liquid aminos. I also really like the coconut aminos. Those are quite a bit more expensive. So sometimes I get them and sometimes I don't. But today we're gonna be using the liquid aminos and teriyaki sauce to taste, okay? So just to give some flavor here to these veggies and keep having them caramelize and absorb this beautiful flavor, I'm gonna do some aminos and a little bit of teriyaki. Obviously, you do not need any salt in this because of the sauces that you're using. Plenty of salt. All right, we're gonna stir it up and continue to let it caramelize. Okay, our veggies are starting to look beautiful here, Will, come here. So like if you flip them over and you see that nice brown color, that means that they're getting nice and caramelized and beautiful. So these are ready for us to start adding in our other things. Okay, so I'm gonna start adding in some rice. And to be honest, I don't usually measure how much rice I put in. I just eyeball what fits in the pan. You know, I kind of keep track of the other stuff, and then I just fill it up the rest of the way with the rice, you know? And so we're gonna start scooping in some rice. I can try to estimate for you guys if you want me to, but okay. Now, this is the part where you kind of have to move pretty quick and keep things moving, because rice, you guys know, it loves to stick to pans, especially a hot pan, right? But we want this to have good flavor. We're gonna break up this rice here and incorporate it in there. And this is where the pineapple juice comes into play as well. So I'm gonna add a little bit more rice here. Ooh, I'm gonna make a mess. Julianne would be so proud. So my rice wants to stick, and you guys will experience with this a hot pan that I'm gonna deglaze the pan with the pineapple juice. And it just makes it so delicious too. And then nothing goes to waste either. All right, so I'm gonna keep mixing this up, keep stirring it up. I'm also gonna add some more liquid aminos and teriyaki right now. That's what gives the rice that beautiful brown color, you know, when you go get fried rice from a restaurant or whatever. So we want to give it that great flavor and that great color. Okay? And then my thought on it is people can always add more later if they want to, right? So that's easy to just keep on the table and serve with dinner, and then people can add more. All right, so our rice is all mixed in. I'm gonna let it fry up just a little bit. Keep it moving. And this doesn't take long once the rice is in there because it's a nice hot pan. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in my scrambled eggs here too. All right, we'll give this another stir. All right, and we are all done. Dinner is done. It looks beautiful. I love all the colors. I love the flavors. Like I said, people can always add more teriyaki or liquid aminos if they want over the top. And sometimes we love serving this with just fruit or with a side salad or even with some dumplings and stuff on the side. So anyway, I really hope you guys enjoy this. Try it out. Let me know how you like it. I love it when you guys tag me on Instagram and show me that you're making our stuff. And yeah, stay tuned. We have a lot more cooking from your Stockpile videos coming up. And we appreciate you guys being here, and we'll talk to y'all soon.